everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, for those of you who don't know me, and today I am bringing you another speed build. I did one of these last week, and it was actually a lot of fun, so I decided to play around a bit. Today I made a house inspired by New Orleans. I went to New Orleans back in April, I think, and there was some really neat architecture, and I just wanted to play around with it. So the style of the house itself is a two-story shotgun family house. So it has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Right now I'm just kind of building the base. I played around with the roof quite a bit. To be honest, the roof was probably the hardest part of this house. I, for some reason, just wasn't too happy with how it turned out, but I think I got it pretty good eventually. For those of you wondering what a shotgun style house is, it's basically a house where you walk in and you can see straight to the back, and that is something that is very common in New Orleans, so I decided to try and replicate something like that. Most of the shotgun homes that I saw personally were 1-story, but just for the sake of the build and how I wanted it to look, I ended up doing a 2-story. The other thing about shotgun houses is they were 2 to like a house, so they'd be like 2 right next to each other. And I only built 1 though because, well, I was only building 1 home. The other thing about this particular build is I built it on an extremely large lot, which I didn't realize until afterwards. So it is a little bit pricier if you wanted to download it, but you know, you can build another house next to it and carry on the traditional shotgun theme, or you can just use it as a giant yard. It's kind of whatever you want. I used bright colors for the doors and, well, you haven't seen the door yet, but the doors and the siding, because down in New Orleans there were so many colors. There were houses that were neon pink, and there were green and blue and purple, and they were so pretty. Oh, I was in love with their architecture. It was beautiful. And so I wanted to keep that true and use the bright colors. Right now I'm putting some windows down, however in a minute these will all change. Don't worry. As you see, there's a little balcony up on top of the front porch area. I don't address this later, but there is no way to get out onto that balcony, but if you wanted to get the house, download it, whatever, you can easily replace one of the windows with a door. No problem. I think this particular house, now that I think about it, would make a pretty good renovation if you wanted like a fun little project to do. I think it'd make a good renovation. For the, what area are we on? Front porch? I got off on such a tangent. I am sorry. I do that a lot. For the front porch, I was just kind of messing around with how I wanted it to look. I liked the concrete look for the porch and the foundation. I put the smooth concrete foundation. I really like that one. It's just, Another thing in New Orleans is there's a lot of kind of like, I don't know what the word is, Victorian almost? The fences, there's just, now that, it's so hard to describe like houses and stuff as I build them, so I'm not familiar with terms and stuff, but I guess there's a lot of character and kind of older touches. Right here, by the way, this all changes in a minute. I was messing around, I was thinking maybe doing a little driveway, but then I decided to not do that. So there we go, it's disappearing. It's disappearing. Now I am going to work on the interior and kind of just laying out where I want things. I loved the idea of having the staircase right when you walked in. I don't know if that's how it usually is in like 2-story shotguns, but that's how I wanted it. And I also really liked the idea of making all of the spaces down here closed off but also connected, if that makes sense. So I use a lot of like archways and just connecting pieces. I think it turned out really well. This area right here is where the kitchen, dining room, those kind of living spaces are. And up here is where we have the bedrooms and bathrooms. I love this house. Actually, I enjoyed building this house so much. So much fun. And then obviously once you build the interior, you have to make the windows line up properly and not just in pretty places. Am I the only person that does that? I feel like I'm the only person that does that, where I put the windows on first, and then I go and make the rooms, and then the rooms don't line up with the windows at all. I don't know. Let me know if any of you guys do those kind of things. Next, we are just going to be playing around with some doors for the upstairs rooms. I went back and forth on the doors a lot, which you'll see. I wanted to do white, and then I was like, no, I picked the flooring, and I wanted them to match the floors, and it was just all over the place. But I'm jumping way too far ahead of myself, so let's just pause, regroup. There we go. Okay, so we're putting in some arches now. This just kind of connects the space, as you see in the little front door area going straight back. You'll see in the screenshots at the end of the video, but you can see straight to that back room, and I love it. I think it turned out so well. And now we're doing floors. I wanted to do hardwood floors because, again, the older, rustic-y feel. One thing I just want to point out in this house ahead of time is a lot of the stuff is rustic. There aren't a whole lot of modern things. In fact, I don't really think there are any modern things at all. So again, if you want to renovate it, this would be a great renovation project. Otherwise, I think it is perfectly livable and beautiful in its own way. So, right here we can see the 2 bathrooms, the one in the master bedroom, which is that big back section, and then the 3 bedrooms are the other rooms. Lighting was kind of a challenge because I wanted to keep the older feel with the lights, but there weren't really a whole lot of older looking lights. There was just a bunch of fluorescent lights. Is it fluorescent or LED? I always get those two mixed up. The really, really bright ones that make everything look white. Which ones are those? I think those are those fluorescent? I just don't even know. Again, somebody please help me on this. I'm sorry. I'm getting so off topic again. But yep, as we see here, this is where I mess around with the doors, and I end up just going back to the original plan anyway. Wait, I go back one more time, and then it goes back to the original. Or, no, I don't even go back to the original, I just change the colors of the new doors. I forget how much commentary can wear me out. It's only been, what, like 8 minutes? 8-9 minutes, and I'm already needing to catch my breath. Okay. So, now we're just making all the doors and stuff. Match, is that the word I'm looking for? Match, yep. And now comes wallpaper! Wallpaper is honestly my least favorite part of building because, you know, wallpaper can make or break a room, and I'm always so bad at my choices. Just throwing that out there. I think I go through quite a few. I find one that I really like, and it has kind of this Frenchy, what is that one symbol called? It's not fleur-de-lis or something. That's a song. It's the, like, something Claire, I think. This is gonna really bug me. Where is my phone? I am going to have to look this up. Okay, just kidding. It's on the other side of the room, and I don't want to get up to go get it. So, lazy life. But I am just picking out my wallpapers. I love the paneling on the bottom half of the wallpaper. I think that is a very good touch. Very, very good touch. And then I wanted to make, you know, the colors kind of pop. I wanted them to be kind of pale. The interior is a lot paler and less extravagant color-wise than the outside of the house, the exterior. Also, one thing you'll notice with my builds, if you didn't notice this in my last build, because I don't know how much I did it, but I do this a lot. If I am scrolling through, you know, furnishings, decorations, and stuff, and I see something, I will put it in the room because that probably is what I base the rest of the room off of. If I find something I really like, I make the rest of the room work with it. This middle area that I'm working on right here is just a little hallway section, and I'm putting some paintings, pictures, those kind of things on the wall to decorate, make it look all fancy. I don't think in real life, like my actual house, I don't think I really have that much stuff on my wall. Like in my room, I have a bunch of pictures that I printed off, and they don't have frames or anything, but they're just like scattered on my wall. How did I get window from wall? So this back room right here is just a skills, hobbies, and office area for whatever your Sims may want to use it for. Can also be converted into like, I guess you could like put a wall in and make it a bathroom or something. It's just kind of like a multi-purpose little section. You know what would be cool if you like put a bunch of glass windows up and you made it like a multi-seasonal porch. Is that what that's called? A multi-season porch? That'd be cute. I like that. I really like this room, actually. This room is probably one of my favorites in the entire house because I don't know. I think it's really, really cute and it's random and it works for me. It works for me. I went with the color scheme of white, greens, and browns, which I think, yep, I do pick a green chair. The green chair is what inspired me to do kind of the green rug. Although I tried to go with the paler color scheme on the interior, a lot of the rooms have that little thing that makes them pop, just so it's not all boring. This middle section right here with the brown striped wallpaper is the kitchen. It's just, you know, a typical kitchen. I really, really liked these counters, so I went with those, obviously. And this is the first build I played around with the different end pieces and stuff you can use with counters. That was so cool. I didn't even realize you could do that. Well, I saw someone do it in their build, and I was like, wait, how do you do that? That's kind of cool, man. That's kind of cool. And then for the appliances, I went with some older looking appliances, but I feel like they will be just as good as any of the other appliances. That's what I like about The Sims, is that the older looking appliances are almost better working, in my opinion. Like, I feel like they break less and stuff. Right here, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to put above the stove. I wanted to put one of those, like, little hood covering things. That just wasn't fitting right. I didn't like how it looked with the tall walls. And then up here, again, with my little piecing together a room before I get to it. The curtains, I love playing with curtains. I haven't really ever played around with building with curtains until very recently. I think I did it in one room in my last build, but I don't think I've really used it before then, and I made sure I played around with the curtains a lot this time, and I think it turned out really well. This blue room is a dining room, and this, we didn't get to that yet. I'm sorry, I just spoiled it, but that's the dining room. And there we go, I figure out what I want to put above the stove. I want to put like a little decorative thing. I guess I didn't figure it out. I'm so bad at this. Okay, there we go. That's what I put there. That's what I put there. I enjoyed looking through all the little decoration stuff. I think there's so many things you can just like scatter around your kitchen in The Sims, and so cute. Well, I guess you can put clutter in any room. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but for this build I used stuff from the base game, the Sims 4 Get Together, and the Sims 4 Dine Out, so if you don't have one of those stuff packs, very easy to replace the objects that I used from there. So I don't think the most I used really was decorations, and the rest was pretty much base game, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I really liked these things. These came with Dine Out, and I thought they were so cute. Just the little like jars with the peppers. I have seen those in so many people's houses, but I've never had them in mine. Sorry, by the way, if you can hear doors opening and closing. There are people coming and going from my house like usual. I also played around with the upper cabinets and realizing I can do different patterns and styles with that too, and I ended up not doing cabinets all the way around, but just doing a couple. And now we're going to work on the dining room. The color scheme for this is obviously blue and white. I really liked this color scheme. I actually really liked how this room turned out. Over here I wanted to put a fireplace, and I played around with it for a little bit, and then I kind of just gave up on that, decided it was a little impractical, and went with a bookcase instead. I felt like you're more likely to have a bookcase in your dining room than a fireplace, I guess. especially if this was against another person's house. You obviously wouldn't have, like, a fireplace up against their house, I guess. I don't know. I could be just way off and rambling now. Who knows? The the living area is so cute. It reminds me of Professor Umbridge from Harry Potter, if any of you guys watch Harry Potter, because it's so pink. It's all pink. I really liked this little boat statue, and I put that aside because I wanted to use it in one of my rooms. I don't think I ended up doing that. But I made this living space quite nice. I think I was going to put a TV down on that little table, and then I decided to not do that, but again, that's an easy fix. If you want one, you can put one there. You can put one wherever you want, really. This is kind of just my builds, I guess. Trying to figure out where I am in this. I don't remember what I do next. Okay, rugs. Rugs are one of my favorite things ever to put in rooms because I love hardwood floors and then I love putting rugs over them. But one thing I do want The Sims to work on is maybe adding in some more colors for not just the rugs but for other furniture, because I find a color scheme that I really like and then I find furniture that I want but it's not in the right color and it just throws everything off, which I know is kind of my fault for choosing them, but, you know, it'd be nice to have a little more colors. I don't want a full-on, you know, like, color wheel, like in The Sims 3, or like the style of color, whatever that was called, but I wouldn't mind a few more color options. And again with my curtains. And I just realized that my text messages keep popping up in the corner of this recording. Might have to turn my messages off next time I record. By the way, this build took me like 3 hours to build. 3 whole hours. Oh, and then on the back I added just a little staircase to get out into the back garden area. So it's not really a garden, but just like a little back outside space, there we go. A little back outside space. And now we're on to upstairs. The first room is just this little hallway, kind of common area, and I wanted to do a mirror feature, like where you put a bunch of different mirrors on the wall, but for some reason I just could not get it to work right for me, and I decided to just scratch that and put a little table, and then the pink rug matches the living room, so it kind of ties those two spaces together. And I put my clutter all over the place in this house. I'm so proud with the amount of clutter I've put in this house, because there's a fine line between having a lot of clutter and having, like, no clutter, and you want to hit that line, like, right in the middle. The front, I put some columns to kind of make the house look like it was supported a bit, because I have seen this in various architectural things. My commentary probably makes no sense. This front bedroom is kind of the guest room, multi-purpose room. I put a little baby bassinet in there. Is that what that's called? Bassinet? A little baby bed in there, as well as just a regular bed, so that room can easily be converted into a kid's room or a grown-up room, whatever you want it to be. It can also turn into like a library, an office, or a big, huge bathroom if you really wanted a big, huge bathroom. I am so proud of this room. This is actually my favorite of the 3 bedrooms I created. I love the yellows and the blues and the pale colors. Love pale stuff. Pastels. Over here I just put a little shelf, and on the shelf I put some cute little bits and bobs to make it look like it was somewhat lived in, but still open enough for you to decorate yourself. One thing I like to do with my builds is I don't like customizing it to any particular family, because I don't know which family I want to live in the house. Who knows? You know what? I might actually use this house in one of my LPs. I was thinking about doing a get-together LP, and I might use this house in there. This is the first bathroom, and we just kind of went with the light blue color. I feel like that color scheme has been used quite a bit throughout the house, but to be honest, it looks pretty good. I like that color scheme. and I played around with decorations and stuff, like some plants and some toilet paper roll. Let me tell you, getting that toilet paper roll in the place I wanted it was so difficult. And then the master bathroom is a darker blue and darker brown kind of color scheme. This one rug, I've used this rug multiple times throughout the house. It was probably the only rug that came in enough colors for me to use consistently throughout, like, everywhere. Actually, now I think about it, I don't know how many times I used it. I just feel like I used that rug a lot. And this is the middle bedroom. This one is just kind of like a little singular room. It could be, you know, for that child that's growing up. It has a nice study area. These kerosene lamps that I've put in most of the rooms, a few of the rooms at least. I love that. It is so cute. One of my favorite little details. I really like how all of these rooms turned out, to be honest. And I played around with different curtains, and then we're on to the master bedroom, the last room in the house. This room caused me a lot of trouble because I realized it was quite an odd shape, and I had to rearrange the bathroom to get the bed to fit in the room. Because obviously, if it's a master bedroom, I'm not going to do a single bed. I'm going to do a double bed. And then I was playing around with different bed styles and stuff, and I ended up just going with the same blue theme. Over here is a little dressing corner, and it's so cute, I love it. And then the rug problem again, just, there's so many cute rugs, but they just weren't coming in my color schemes. I spent so long trying to find a yellow rug, and I found that one, but then again I used it a lot, and I didn't really like it that big, so I just put a little yellow rug in that little corner, and then I went with just a little different rug for the rest of the room. I think the rugs really do help tie in the rest of the furniture to the room, and with hardwood floor, I feel like you can get a very open feel with your rooms. And then I do change the wallpaper color a bit, so there we go. And my camera recording thing did cut out a little bit, but you didn't really miss much, just me putting in a fence. If you do like this house, it is available for download. I uploaded it to the gallery under this login up on the screen, so if you want to download it, you can just search up that name and it should pop up. Back to the build. The one thing I did notice about the shotgun houses in New Orleans is they didn't really have yards, they just had these little concrete kind of sections that kind of doubled as your yard, I guess, which doesn't seem like it'd be too comfortable because who wants to sunbathe in the middle of concrete? But, you know, it is what it is. I played around, I don't remember what I do next. I think I played around with, like, was it the bushes? I think I might have played around with some bushes. Trying to figure out where I am in the build. Oh, well, first I had to touch up some of the spots that weren't completely covered in this gravel terrain paint. Terrain paint has saved my life so many times recently, I can't even tell you. And yep, right here I'm just kind of playing around with bush patterns and trying to figure out how I want to decorate it. I ended up doing what I did in my last speed build, which was the yellow flowers with some tall grass in the middle, and then I kind of just continued on. I didn't really know what to do for the yard, so it's kind of empty because I didn't want to, put kid stuff in case the Sims didn't have a kid. I didn't really want to go too far and customize it, so it's kind of open for whoever wants to play with it to do what they want with it. If you want to get rid of the gravel and make it a yard, that's cool too. I did put a little seating area and some outdoor eating area. I put a little outdoor eating area in the corner as well. So, you can enjoy that sunshine on your face when you're eating your bagel and your yogurt and your chips. It took me a while to pick a table though, and then I put some chairs to go with it. I really liked how that looked. And then right here you see me kind of playing around with different things I could put there. I was going to put a bird bath in that corner, and then I just decided to move that close to the seating area and leave the corner blank. I think there's just a couple more things I do out here. I know I put in, I'm trying to figure out what I put in next. I know I do lighting. Lighting was a big deal, because to me lighting is very important in the game, and I put in a little front light, which now I look at it is not centered, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. Mess around with, just kind of like little decorations, things that are pretty much necessities in houses, mailbox, trash can, those kind of things. And then I put in some potted plants, and it's just about done. So if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. I try and make new videos at least every week, and I will see you guys all later. Bye!